Hello, this is Malorian, and now this is going to be my third game against an Imperial Guard list. So this game was pretty simple, it was all just about victory points. However, the huge challenge to this one was my opponent. His name is Tim, and I think he's arguably probably the best 40k player in Edmonton, and so I was really surprised that I'd have to be even facing him. The only reason why this came up is because in his second game he got really ripped off, where basically he was standing back, shooting up Dark Eldar army, and then time was called, so he wasn't able to race up, take the objectives. Turned out he got a massacre loss, and so now I'm up against him, facing him. So he has a huge kind of leaf blower type list with like 15 different tanks, some big ones with like plasma cannons, some devil dogs. So really my only hope, I know from playing against my brother, is just to get in there as fast as I can and then beat him up. So he's put all his stuff in reserve. This like dawn attack, so I only have the 2 units here starting, and then all the rest will be deep striking. So I think it was me that had first turn. Didn't really matter. With my Deathwing Deep Strike, I got in 4 of my units, so some of it was kind of aggressive placement, but now I have all these units here, including both my HQs. And the big thing about the HQs is that if you pick one to be your main one, and if they die, you give up double the VPs for them. So for me it's going to be my Librarian, because I know with that force barrier he's going to be harder to kill, and my opponent Tim, he has Strachan, so he's actually going to be a very expensive unit, and if I can manage to kill that, that's going to be what's going to tip the battles. So at this point it's just me moving up, and then on his turn nothing's happening because the reserves don't come in until turn 2. So at this point on my turn 2, I think I get a couple more units in. I think one mishapped, and so it went back into reserves. But really I'm just pushing up. I kind of had in my head that actually I could have been a real jerk, and I could have just deep strike everything right on his line and kind of ran to block off so that his tanks couldn't come in. But for the most part that actually wouldn't be helping me, because he has that other special character, Raheem whatever. Those will be those 3 brown tanks, and so they're going to be outflanking the 2... he has 2 stormtrooper squads I'll be outflanking as well, and either way I don't want to be a jerk. I just want to get into placement and then just start smashing things with my fists and chain fists. On his turn 2, he has 2 of his tanks coming on the left side that have the plasma cannons and the auto cannons on top. Don't really know what that one's called. He has some platoons come in. You can see Strachan is in there. Both of his devil dogs came in, and I was rolling really well from my saves. You can see I'm not really missing that many guys. And then on this side he had his Raheem and his stormtroopers come in, and again, I'm missing a few guys, but I think he only killed 2 total over here. So I mean, it's just my storm shield is eating up those single meltas, or maybe he'd have 2 meltas, he'd fail to hit with 1, and the other one I just saved. So very little damage. So I'm feeling very lucky so far. So my turn 3, and at this point I've just gone to the other side of the table. We're playing side by side because it just kind of makes more sense. A couple more squads came in, ran in, destroyed 2 vehicles there, one making it explode, stunning the top one that's white. My squad with my Librarian went down, destroyed the 1 devil dog, so looking great so far. And again, over here, just an amazingly good turn. Destroyed 1 of the Chimeras, messed up the other one that has Strachan in it. Then on the far right, I destroyed both of those main battle tanks, the ones with the plasma cannons I was really scared of. So, wow, just an amazingly good turn for me. And if I can keep up this pressure, it won't be long before I can just destroy everything he has. I'm being really surprised. So his side of 3, he gets some reinforcements in. He goes and has a 1 platoon that comes in. It does a melta to my Librarian, which I try and force barrier. I get a 10 and think that I'm great, but even though Belial gives you leadership 10, it's not for psychic tests. So I fail it, take a melta to the face, and my Librarian is dead. I don't know if you can see in the other picture, but I'll say right now that this luck was then kind of switched over, because his devil dog shoots at the close unit and it scatters right back onto the devil dog and killed itself. So now both devil dogs are dead. He did a bunch of shooting into my terminators there. killing all but the one with the chain fist. I think I actually did destroy that tank in this round of combat. I'm not sure, maybe not. But again, he didn't really do that much damage to me, so I was, again, feeling very lucky. And then on this side, he tried for a big push. I didn't know this, but Strachan gives everybody Furious Charge and all this stuff, so his guys kind of poured out. I had a whole bunch that charged into my Combat Terminators on the far right. I was able to beat them and send them off the board. Strachan went, and with all the shooting, the unit that had Belial in it totally wiped out and destroyed, so there's some more points to him. And then he also had a little Melta squad that went after one of my units there as well, and didn't actually manage to do much. They killed one, and I just wiped out the whole squad. So a little bit of a mixed bag from my opponent over here. And yeah, now back to me, more killing tanks. So my turn 4, the one unit that used to have the Librarian came back, destroyed that Chimera. The top white one now is destroyed for sure. One of my lone guys runs over and is fighting one of the Stormtrooper units, and yeah, just trying to clean things up over here. As you can see, I got one more unit that deep struck. And on this side too, you can see that I tried killing Strachan. I thought with all my shooting into them I'd be able to beat them, but with the Feel No Pain it just didn't happen. And charging in, he actually set it up perfectly so that there was no majority, so the whole unit was weapon skill 5. So luckily Strachan didn't kill that many of me, but I'm still working on him. Actually, sorry, before when I said the Devil Dog destroyed itself, it actually just stunned itself, so I went over and destroyed it now, immobilized and shook this other Chimera, and yeah, I had one more unit deep strike in, so now this is all my Terminators are on the board. So his turn 4, he's trying to go and counter me, but really it's just his units trying to run away and conserve points. I just keep on making my shield saves, and I think he kills one Terminator on this side, and when you think of all the different Meltas and Plasmas shooting at me, it should be a lot more. It's really, at this point, it's coming down to I had a really good turn, and now dice are just keeping it in my favor. And then on this side, you can see he got his last main battle tank in there with the plasma cannons and stuff, but it scattered off my deep strike unit that was all together. I was able to destroy the one Chimera, able to kill Strachan after he completely whiffed, and at this point, my opponent just says, well, you won. We'll keep on playing it to make it a massacre, but he knows that everything is pretty much over now. So my turn 5, I'm just kind of cleaning things up, destroying another Chimera, destroying all of the Stormtroopers, failing to kill the little squad that was down there at the bottom, and kind of just messing up Raheem's tank there. On this side, everything is destroyed and killed except for the one battle tank, which is now stunned and immobilized or whatever it is, so it's not going to do anything and get killed next turn. So then his side is of 5. It really just comes down to Operation Don't Get Tabled. So his stuff is just running away, and then of course, like I said, I destroy that last tank on the other side. But then on my turn 6, I'm able to do it, coming in, shooting, charging. All the guys are dead, and so won this game by a massacre, and very surprised with the result. So like I said, ended up being a massacre. When we were talking about the game after, he said that really what he should have done was started all of his tanks on the board. Really he was just trying something new. He goes to this Ard Boyz, of course, but then he also goes to this Nova tournament, which to him is a bigger deal, so he was kind of using this as just kind of testing some strategies out. So if that's what it was, and that's what let me win, I'm glad for it. My one brother has never beaten Tim, so now this is a badge I can hold where, oh, well, obviously I'm a better player than my brother. But yeah, it was just a really good game to start with, where it looked like his tanks were pounding on me, but I was just kind of punching him faster. But I think really what it really came down to after everything was set in motion was really just the dice. I just kept on making those saves. He actually sometimes questioned, like, there are ones on those dice, right? And I just kept on eating them up, and yeah, great result. So at the end of the tournament, I ended up with 2 massacre wins, 1 massacre loss. This meant that I came in 6th, so I won't be going on to the next round, but I thought I was going to be coming in last place in this tournament anyway, so I'm glad with what I got. And for those who care, my brother actually came in 3rd, so he'll be going on to the next round. So if you see my brother there, make sure to kick his ass. So thanks for watching, and bye.